Otto Fricke, he's the budget spokesman for Germany's Free Democratic Party. It's the junior partner in Angela Merkel's coalition government. Thank you so much for joining us today. Otto, in terms of what you're expecting a lot of these peripheral countries to do in order to access cheaper loans or even a second bailout, what is your #1 priority that you believe Germany should not back down from?
Well, the most important thing is it's about stability at the end. That means if we have a necessity for solidarity by Germany, it means on the other side there has to be solidity on the Portuguese side, on the Irish side, on the Greek side. And that means, yes, as Europeans, as true Europeans, we have to say we help, but that means the programs, the austerity programs and everything else that is especially planned by the IWF has to get through. And if they show signs that they do it, we have to help and continue with help. If they don't do it, we will not help.
Do you see at the moment any countries in the European Union, in the periphery countries, that don't seem to want to implement what the IMF and the EU have put in place?
Well, I think we have to differ. If you look at Ireland, for example, there are really steps going ahead. If you look at the pictures you can see right now in the news from Greece, it doesn't look that good. But still, I think politicians shouldn't just, like talk down countries and say this and that doesn't work. I'm a budget man. That means I look at numbers. Now, what I want to have is the numbers. How much of the programs that have been implemented are getting through? How much of the things that the countries have to sell are sold? It's not about do they do it 100%, but are they on the right path and they're doing their things. I can't actually see that.
And it does seem fair. Have you had a chance to look at what Portugal has been doing so far? Would you, for example, suggest that, of course, Angela Merkel supports these new bailout conditions, or at least the renegotiation of certain more cheaper bailout conditions?
Well, if it's about the interest rates, for example, we always have to look. This is the other side. On the one hand side, we have a program that compared to Germany would mean 160 billion in our budget. And this would be something where German people would probably say it's not a fun thing to do. So the Portuguese do think like that. At least they want to implement it. On the other side, the interest rate, the question for how much interest rates do we give the money, there is a question how you find the right one, especially in these changing times where the ECB is going up with interest rates. Here, to find here the right middle path is something where I'd say it's not a politician to decide. It's somebody who is really deeper into the numbers.
All right. How concerned are you about what we've heard from, Germany in terms of inflation numbers and how that's going to impact what the ECB decides over the next couple of quarters?
Well, the problem in Germany is, if you consider our history, is that whenever we hear that the prices are going up, we hear the word inflation, and in Germany especially, this is a fear word then. On the other side, the government and the coalition is aware of the situation. I think we're going to have a slightly higher inflation, but if you look at what we're doing on the other side, it's not going to go up pretty much further next year. So that's to my mind okay, but we really have to be very cautious with that and pay attention. And if you look at the past of the ECB in the last weeks, I think it's quite good what they're doing.
But how difficult is it now? It does seem that actually every week we understand more and more what some people were afraid of, is that there really is a two-speed Europe. It's countries that are growing, essentially Germany, and countries that are not growing that need the extra support from the ECB. How much more difficult is this going to become if we don't have a restructuring of Greece?
Well, you see, that's Europe. When I just was sitting here and was waiting, I heard about the powerhouse of Europe, Germany. Let's say, maybe 8-9 years ago, it was the old sick man of Europe. That was Germany. Things can change pretty fast if you do the right programs and if you care. On the other side, I think the most important thing for Germany, for the Netherlands, for Finland, and all those countries that are on the better side is to take responsibility and to say, yes, we're willing to help our European friends or parts of our European family, but only if we have the right conditions. And here is the big problem, that the other countries see, yes, there is a country that is very strong, where we have tax revenues going up, and still we're willing to help, but under conditions. And I think this is something politicians have to tell the people in Germany as well as in Greece. And in Greece, I see a little problem, especially if you look at the pictures there.
Yeah. Otto, great to speak to you. Otto Fricke there. Thank you so much.